What if the reason you can't get out of bed, can't focus, and can't seem to move forward has nothing to do with laziness? This is not a motivation problem. This is a disconnection problem. Most people spend years blaming themselves, calling themselves lazy, broken, or behind. But what psychology and philosophy reveal is something far more powerful. You're not lazy. You're disconnected. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why you feel stuck, what's really happening inside your mind, and the one realization at the end of this video that can completely change how you see yourself. Stay with me. This might be the most important thing you hear today. Why you feel stuck. We live in a culture that measures your value by output. If you're not producing, achieving, constantly moving forward, you feel like you're falling behind. But that system is broken. Carl Jung once said, "Your vision becomes clear only when you look inward." Let me simplify this. Sometimes, feeling lost is actually a sign of internal growth. Old beliefs are breaking. New ones haven't formed yet. And in that gap, everything feels meaningless. Abraham Maslow called the highest level of human development self-actualization. When your life aligns with your deepest values. But here's the problem. Most people are living someone else's script. Study, work, earn, repeat. That creates structure, but not meaning. And without meaning, your mind resists. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, wrote, "Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but by lack of meaning." Read that again. This isn't laziness. This is your mind telling you, this path isn't yours. The psychology of feeling lost. Psychologists call this state existential frustration. A deep inner conflict between who you are and how you're living. And this is where most people get it wrong. They try to fix it with motivation. But motivation doesn't solve misalignment. Clarity does. Søren Kierkegaard described this feeling like wandering through an unknown landscape. At first, everything feels confusing. But slowly, as you observe, reflect, slow down, patterns begin to appear. Direction returns. And that's why you feel stuck. Even when you're trying. Because you're moving fast. In the wrong direction. In ancient philosophy, there's a concept called kairos. The right moment for action. Not every phase of life is meant for progress. Some phases are meant for reflection, healing, rebuilding identity. Leonardo da Vinci would spend days doing nothing but observing and thinking. People thought he was wasting time. History called it genius in progress. So if you feel slow right now, you're not behind. You're in transition. How to reconnect with yourself. So how do you fix this? Start simple. Not with a life plan. Not with pressure. With awareness. First, find what pulls you in. The thing that makes you lose track of time. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi called this the flow state. That's where meaning begins. Second, take one small step. Not a big goal. Not a 5-year plan. Just one. Read one chapter. Write one page. Start one idea. Small action creates momentum. Momentum rebuilds identity. Third, change how you talk to yourself. Thich Nhat Hanh taught, to understand yourself is to love yourself. Stop attacking yourself for being lost. You wouldn't treat a friend that way. So why treat yourself like that? And finally, train your focus. Every morning, write 3 things you're grateful for. Not because it sounds nice, but because it rewires your brain. What you focus on expands. Final realization. Now here's the truth most people never realize. You are not as lost as you think. Deep down, you already know what matters to you. The problem is, It's buried under expectations that were never yours. Every great transformation begins here. Confusion. Uncertainty. Searching. J.K. Rowling was broke, unemployed, and struggling when she started writing Harry Potter. She later said, "Rock bottom became the foundation of my life." That's where you are right now. Not at the end. At the beginning. And as Mary Oliver asked, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're in transition. And that is where transformation begins. If this changed the way you see yourself, share it with someone who needs this. And watch it again. Because the second time, you'll understand it on a deeper level.